Hi guys, welcome to a new episode about my aviation career, and I decided to start this episode in this place with view to Empire State Building and when I have McDonald's in my hand, because this is typical life, this is typical New York, and I actually don't like fast food, but here you have to eat it. You don't have time, you don't have enough money to eat all the time in expensive restaurants, and today I'm gonna keep going to study my aviation career in America. As you can remember, a few weeks ago I came here, got an apartment when I live, started my first classes, and now I need to do my medical commissions, because if you want to be a pilot you need medical certification. I did the same stuff in Russia 1 year ago and it took 1 week, a lot of doctors, I had to find all my medical history, I did a lot of researches, but here is completely different way of medical commission. Just check it. I'm here 30 minutes away from the place I'm living. I had to rent a car to reach this destination because on a bike it would take around 2 hours, I think. I've got this form. I filled it in the internet. There are a lot of questions about my health, disease, sickness, all questions they have. I think the test will take around 15 minutes. They gave me this can, you know, for what? For drug test. I have to fill it. The medical check is gonna cost around $150, and then I will be able to go for my first solo flight.
Hey.
Are you gonna tell me the result?
Yeah, you passed here.
So I can go do my solo, right?
And go do your solo.
Thank you very much.
But wait for better weather. This weather
not
isn't
today.
ready. Not today.
I don't have an appointment for today.
That's me with Sully.
Oh, that's cool.
I was there when he landed the plane in the water. And 2 of the passengers on the plane were my neighbors. I went to help. I'm a fireman.
Oh, got it.
So I went to help. And then I heard behind me, "Oh, Dr. Basri, is that you?" And it was 2 of my neighbors from my hometown in Goshen.
Have you heard in Russia we had the same story about dishing, but it was super secret in Soviet Union?
Why?
I can show you the picture. It's possible on internet.
And it was a passenger plane?
Yeah, it was full of passengers airplane.
Wow.
And it was a little even harder in St. Petersburg, you can see, because it was between 2 big bridges.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was pretty same
When
stuff.
was this?
I don't know, what year was it?
Black and white. Does that mean it's a long time ago?
It's Soviet Union.
Yeah, they didn't talk about anything back then.
It was secret.
I mean, it would make like, that's why they call it Aeroflot?
Yeah.
Aeroflot. Aeroflot.
Flu. So, is this all what I need?
That's all you need.
That's cool.
Go have fun.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's nice meeting you.
You too. Medical commission was so easy. If we compare it with my Russian commission, when I spent over 5 days to get it, here I spent about 2 hours maximum. They just checked my eyes and asked me if I have any problems, and I said no, I don't have, that's it.
So we're gonna go straight ahead. You see there's a guy ahead of us to the right. Do you see the traffic? He's in the crosswind.
Oh yeah, I can see him.
We're gonna keep going straight ahead to that lake, and then we'll go to the north. This is our flight director.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the top here, you can see the modes it's in. Roll and pitch. Roll means it just wants to keep your wings level. Pitch means it's going to keep you at the same pitch attitude. This button right here, this knob, will choose the altitude that we want. 2,500. Now, if it's at a different, if this altitude, this is our selected altitude, if this is different than the altitude we're at now, it knows, all right, we need to get to this altitude, and you just need to tell the autopilot how to get there, and I'll show you how. So first thing, we have our flight director on. We're going to put it into indicate. Exchange approved. Golf. We're going to press this button, which is IAS. Go ahead and do that now. That stands for indicated airspeed. This is our altitude. This is our selected altitude.
Yeah.
And that says indicated airspeed. It means it's going to keep the airspeed we were at. Okay? Now, if I select a speed that is slower than the airspeed we're at now, the only way the plane can slow down without changing the power is by pitching up. So I have this all programmed in here. Now I just press AP.
What stands for acronym AP?
AP is autopilot.
Oh,
Okay.
like we activate it only after AP is pressed.
Flight director first, then AP. Okay.
Oh.
AP means the plane is going to start flying itself immediately. Flight director is where this magenta, this purple chevron or triangle is showing us what the plane will do. The reason I always do the flight director first is because I don't want the plane, to accidentally like misprogram the autopilot. The plane start to turn a crazy direction and then I have to like turn off the autopilot really quick. Once we get to 2,500, the plane will level off and keep that altitude. Would you like to try?
From the beginning?
Sure. I'll show you how to like plug in the instrument approach as well. It'll do everything but land the plane for you.
Landing is the most interesting part of flight. I would not gonna share it with any machine.
I agree. I'm afraid that when they do create a computer that can do it perfectly, then I'll be out of a job.
This is, by the way, the best time for flying. Like awesome. Looks beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's so nice out here right now. It's really pretty. Like the clouds are out. Tell you what, let's lean the mixture out maybe 1 inch right now. That'll give us a little bit better fuel economy. Another feature here is track mode. You see this white line and the pink diamond? If you press track mode, now it'll correct for the wind for you. So now you go perfectly straight north and you don't have to worry about the wind. So, we'll be doing some emergencies out here in the field today, some practice emergencies. Okay, if your autopilot's on, just deactivate the autopilot. We want to maintain, in this plane, 70 knots. 70 knots is going to be our best glide speed. As soon as we do that, we're going to find a place to land. Try not to pick a place that's far away. It's very hard to estimate the distance, 6 miles away, 7 miles away. I really can't tell. It's very difficult to tell you. So what I'd recommend is pick something, if you can, that's closer. If the engine does not restart, then we'll go on to the next. So again, we'll maintain our pitch at 70. We'll communicate, okay, 121.5, that is the universal emergency frequency. Call it guard. Transponder. We won't do this today, but we'll just pretend to simulate 7700. That is the emergency transponder code. Air traffic control sees an aircraft and they have that code. They know he's having an emergency and they're gonna pay attention to you right away. Don't worry if you don't get it perfect today, but what they want to hear is Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Who you are, Skyhawk 733 Papa Golf. Say your location as best you can. I'll give the location today. I'll say that we're 12 miles south of Orange County Airport. It can just be approximate. You don't need to be super accurate with location. I'll say that we had an engine failure. We're making an emergency landing in the farm fields below us, and we have 2 souls on board.
I have the controls.
Do me a favor, let's climb up to about 3,500, and then you could do that. Look at the ground below us. The ground that is dark brown, that is gonna be dirt that is loose, okay? It's not a bad place to land, but it's not very good either. Your plane will probably flip like this. It's not the best place. If you can find a place that is either green or brown.
For example, that place is not enough to land, yeah?
It's on a slope.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot of buildings around. I would just land in the farm fields.
I more like that place.
Okay.
I can do it in the right turn.
Sure.
The next one is flaps up, master switch on, fuel selector. Both control the speed, by the way. Mixture, reach, ignition. Both. Primer, full in and secured. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Cessna 733 Papa Golf. We have engine failure. 2 people on board.
All right, and you can, I don't usually say like what I'm going to do next, like we're going to try to land in a field.
We're looking for an appropriate place to land.
Good.
The next one, 7700. Seat belts are secured.
All right, we'll tighten those up.
Control the speed, 70. Fuel mixture off. Ignition off.
We'll open those doors.
Open. Flaps if I need flaps. And then master switch off. Oh my god. The best place is or here or there.
Like on the road or on the grass?
Eclipse jet.
Oh, the best place is there.
Ah,
Safe flight.
nice.
Not a big deal in one hand, but in the other hand, I was so nervous after this situation, and after that, when we came back to airport, I had the worst landing I have ever had. It's so weird because I've got a lot of landings in my life, and it was day with calm wind, no obstacles, no high traffic in the pattern, but I was so nervous after that situation with emergency, and eventually I couldn't do landing.
Okay, reduce your power. Reduce your power, please. Reduce your power.
And 4 Papa, reback runway 28, clear to land.
You're too fast.
Yeah.
If you hold the slip into the wind, it's going to be a lot more effective.
Oh, really?
See that? All right, you have the controls.
I have the controls.
All right, we're too high. You need to lower your attitude. Hold it off. Okay, hold it off, hold it off. All right, we bounce a little bit here. All right, almost.
Are we stopping?
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
The problems of this landing for me was so high altitude. We usually, as I get used to fly, it was more horizontal glide path, and for me it's not comfortable to start landing from so high altitude. I just need to get more practice to get used to it.
Well, you can see here, the reason why you can't come in so low, there's a hill.
The basic problem was high speed.
Yeah, a little fast, rounded out, too high. We sunk, you saved it, but then we ballooned up.
I'll fix it next try.
Next time.
I have more than 60 hours of flying, and today was really a weird landing at all. I couldn't control my airspeed, my glide path, and if I was alone, I would go around immediately. But I was with instructor, he corrected airplane, and this situation helped me to realize that nobody is perfect, and even if you have not big but not so small experience, you are still not good pilot. So next time, tomorrow, I'm gonna fix it. But also I would like to emphasize that we had cool experience today. We made emergency procedures. We trained emergency landings. I did it first time, like regular one, and second time Ryan switched off fuel. I didn't expect it. I didn't see how I didn't catch the moment when he done it, and I lost for a few seconds, but it was good experience, really interesting. I liked it. So tomorrow I'm gonna work on my landings, glide path, speed and all other stuff, and I hope soon I'll go for my first flight. One of the coolest facts about airfleet training, my pilot school, is location. Just 30 minutes and you are in Manhattan, Central Park, one of the most famous places in the world, and I can be here almost every day. For example, today I had flight at 10 and at 2 I'm already here. Autumn is gonna be soon, and all this green color will change. Autumn colors, and I'm waiting for it. I really wait for it. I was very waiting for this box. This is handset finally, I've got it. This item cost $1,300 and it's worth it. Look at this nice case. It has a handle. I just know what quality it is and this is really good. This is a new one, but I ordered it from eBay because on official website there is no available headsets to order, but seller said this is a new one and I also have 30 days to return it. This is one of the coolest thing you can have when you are a pilot. Believe me. Everybody likes this headset. Charlie. Cessna 733 Papa Golf.
Just in case I check. Good habit to get into. Full power, speed alive. Very nice. Direction, speed, speed. Is there anything that you want to do in the US while you're here that you can't do in Russia?
Learn English. I really like to enjoy by New York. I go there almost every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you do in New York?
I'm just walking around.
Central Park's probably the nicest part of New York. I don't like New York. Too many criminals, too many crazy people. There's much to do there. There's many restaurants, lots of bars. It's fun, lots of people. Every time I go and I see like crazy guy like on the subway or the metro, I'm just so depressed. I'm just like, oh, what has this country become? I hope they do not think all of America is like New York City. But I grew up in a small city, so. Which way is the wind coming from?
From there.
All right, good. So we're still a little high. Let's put our wind corrections in now. That will increase our drag. Let us descend faster. Better. Okay. Yeah, you see how we're descending a little bit faster now?
Yeah.
Look at your airspeed.
70.
All right, good.
Feels way better than yesterday.
Yes. All right. And very slowly, raise it up. Raise it up. Look, raise it up. Raise it up. Beautiful. Very nice landing. All right, a little slow, so we just add some power in here, and now we're just a little bit high. Let's reduce that power slightly. Okay, good. Good, okay. On takeoff, when we are climbing, we always want wings level. If you're banked while you're taking off, you're not going to be producing maximum lift, and you will lose some vertical speed.
How to control by rudder?
Yeah, so you want to be coordinated. The ball should be centered on takeoff, and your wings should be level. It's not like landing where you have your wings banked and the rudder aligned. I don't care about aligned. Once we take off, we can be pointing into the wind. So just reduce that power. All right, nice and smooth. Hold it off, hold it off. Right here, just hold it off. Don't let, every time it drops, raise your attitude. You got this. Nicely done, okay.
We can use flaps here?
Nope, because you're still not lined up with the runway. 70 knots here. Don't pitch down so much, please. All right, this one's gonna be doable. Okay. Get yourself lined up and wind corrections in and all flaps. Hold it for a second. Let's not be flat here. Raise your attitude. Raise your attitude. Hold it there. Hold it there. I want that center line, the runway stripes, to be right in the center of our nose before we add power next time. All right.
So guys, one more session of flying in the US is over. I really like the way. I like exercises. You have different exercises here. This is like, you know, second step of education of pilot.
Yeah, well, I would be interested to learn about the exercises you practiced. You know what they say, a good pilot's always learning. Isn't that right, JP?
So here is the time to pay. This is the worst part of each flight. So how much today? 489.
After emergency landings, next day we decided to work on my ATC communication, because this is one of the worst skills at this moment. I can hear them, I can understand them, but I can't do it fast enough. So Ryan and I had ground class first, and then we went to airspace to train my communication skills right there.
Slower. You're going way too much, too fast. Watch how I do it. Left aileron, left rotor. Right aileron, right rotor. See how the rolls, I go into the roll slower, like this. When I change directions, I do it quickly, but I'm not going to. Don't let the nose yaw. Look outside, straight ahead. Don't let it move left and right. See how it's moving left? Okay, that one's good. To the right, that's better. That's better. That's much better. That's much better. Okay, lower the nose just a bit. You're getting a little high. A little bit too much back pressure. Don't let that nose yaw. Okay, when you feel comfortable with this, let's do it more. Even more bank. Just don't let it turn. Okay, better. Every time the plane rolls, if it rolls into a turn or rolls out of a turn, we have to use rudder.
Am I flying like a monkey, yeah?
Oh, well, you're doing all right. I want these turns to be nice and smooth.
Caldwell Tower, 733 Papa Golf. We're over Lincoln Park Water Tower.
Good. Now, we are way too high. We are way too fast. You need to reduce your power, Ilya. Carb heat on, please. Too fast, you're pushing the nose down. Too high.
I'm beginning to feeling better.
Yeah, I can tell your proficiency's improving. Standard commands, you understand pretty well. But I understand that. We can go over that. We'll practice that together on the ground.
I'm sure for 100% in the end of studying here, I will good about ATC.
I think so. We'll go to New York in the very end, and you can do all the radio communications, and you'll feel very professional.
Flying is the easiest and funniest thing in my school, but at the same time I need to study theory, and this is a really big deal because there are over 1,000 questions with 3 options to answer, and there are a lot of theory necessary to know. Each ground class costs $80, and back then, 1 year ago when I studied in Russia, I had 240 hours ground classes in my school. Obviously this is too expensive to pay $80 per 200 hours. That's why I decided to study theory by myself.
Can you hear these sirens? This is signalization out of deers. Can you imagine? Here is a lot of deers around during night, especially. I was riding a bike yesterday and I was afraid by one. I switched on light on the phone to scare them, I don't know, because they are pretty big. Today I'm gonna fix my bike. I had a problem with pressure in my tire here. I had to looking for the pump yesterday, and I bought another inner tube. This is the only situation when I can get this word in the life, and now we're gonna fix it.
New York is ready for Halloween. Actually, this is one of the best cities in the world, I think so. I have to be in over 40 countries and in a lot of different cities. I really like New York. Somebody doesn't, but I'm not that person. People usually divide in 2 types, who likes New York and who doesn't. Because here are a lot of things to not like this, for example, or freak people around. But I'm the person who ignore all this stuff and just enjoy architecture and people around. So, next day I had my first exam in the US. Check stage with Kyle. I came to the school in the morning, did my pre-flight inspection, and then Kyle came out and exam was started.
Please check your brakes.
All right, yep, my brakes are working fine.
Good, thank you. Run up checklist. Parking brake on. Flight control 3. Right rudder, left rudder. Yeah. Fuel selector. Both. Mixture. Full reach. Primer in and secured. Power 1700 RPM. Now I'm gonna check magnetos. Left one about 70. Both. Right one about 70. Carb heat about 50. Works stable. Oil pressure, temperature is not enough. Speed 0. Speed 0. Tower 733 Papa Golf. Runway 28. Ready for departure. Northbound. And full. Speed is alive.
Inside of base at 10.7.
knots. Here we are out of the Bravo.
No, we're not. We're still in. Even then, why start climbing right at the end of the Bravo? What if you hit an updraft and climb 1,000 feet a minute? You'll be in the Bravo in 30 seconds. If you clip it just by a little bit, you're gonna lose your license. Why run that close to the edge? You know what I wait for? I tell all the students to wait for? Look at this lake. You find the lake on there? That's what, 2 miles outside the Bravo? Start your climb then. Don't run it that close to the edge. You bust the Bravo, they're gonna take your license. Wait until you're 100% over. If you can drop a stone outside and hit this lake we're coming up to, you know you're clear of the Bravo, so start your climb then. There's no rush to climb up.
I'm gonna climb 4,000 feet. Is it okay?
I don't know.
It's okay in this area.
Do you think 4,000 is a good altitude to be at?
There is clouds a little less.
Not even worried about that. As far as cruising is concerned.
We used to fly here about 4,500 usually.
Yep. Why do you think that altitude?
Right now I feel like I'm close to clouds. I have to be 500 feet below it.
Yeah. But what is VFR cruising altitude supposed to be at?
I would say 4,500 is appropriate one.
In the US, cruising altitudes for VFR are whatever altitude plus 500. 3,500, 4,500, 5,500, 6,500. You know who flies at the even altitudes like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000? IFR traffic. So we're at an altitude where all the IFR airplanes are. So it's never a great idea to be at just 4,000. That's why you go at 4,500, or for us today, 3,500 will be enough.
I got it.
At 4,000 though, you're gonna get a lot of IFR planes, and it just makes a hassle.
I know this rule, but I didn't.
All right, whenever we can, let's do some slow flight. Let's slow it down to 65 knots.
Okay, first reduce power, 1,500 RPM.
Bonanza 9 Air Coast Goose Squawk 0.
Here in white arc, 10 degrees, full flaps, 3,500.
All right, let's turn right to 330.
Yeah.
There's a plane underneath us. Spend more time looking outside, you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do a power off stall.
Power off stall.
Here's 334.
Power.
And whenever we can, let's do some steep turns.
Alright. Then, best place for landing, the airport. Around. So I chose this place for landing.
And you're at 55 knots. In a turn, without an engine. And let's do a climbing turn. And let's head back to Caldwell for some landings.
about landing.
What were we cleared to do? We were going to do a touch and go there, right?
Northeastbound. But you stopped my hand.
Yeah, why?
4 Sierra Echo, roger, transition through call squad Delta is approved, call number 2984.
2984. I had to request options.
Yeah, we were never cleared for a touch and go. Had you had add power and I let you, that would have been a violation because we were cleared to land. We were not cleared for a touch and go. We were not cleared for the option. Just because I wanted to do something, you requested full stop. Even when we were back by Wanacue, you said inbound for landing, full stop, and he said okay. And then when we came in on a 2 mile final, he said clear to land, and you said clear to land. If you want anything else, you got to request it.
It was horrible, guys. First, I almost came in B airspace. This is really bad situation, and the good thing I was with Kyle and he controlled the situation. This is lesson for all my life. I will never do it again. I will control airspace all the time. And another thing was bad is emergency landing. We did it a lot of time, but all the time I made my glide path like in one line from one place to another. Today, Kyle explained to me that, and Ryan told me in the very first class, but I didn't remember this situation. I had to go right to the place I want to landing and circle around that place until my altitude wouldn't be enough to perform landing. Alright, next time I will fix this problem, and this is really good lesson for me.
So it was expected. I'm not ready for solo yet. We need to have more practice with Ryan, but not all things were bad. Kyle said about a lot of good stuff of my flying, and I'm gonna fix all problems I have. Try again. I don't have any options. This experience was really helpful for me. I realized a lot of stuff which I have to correct, master, and I think I'll do it. I'm pretty sure I'll do it.
So guys, in next episode I'm gonna pass my exam with Kyle. I'm gonna have my first solo flight in the US. I will have my first attempt to pass written exam. This is theory, really hard exam. I work a lot, but you know, English is my second language, that's why it's complicated for me. So we will see how it's gonna be. If you don't want to miss next episode, subscribe the channel, push the like button, and tell me in comments what do you think about my studying process. For today we're done. Thank you for watching и до свидания.